Dave, it is time to start another episode of Six Unseemly Questions. And as always, we ask you a trivia question, usually about the show that you're on, or sometimes it's about me or my life, because we've been friends for like 20 years, Dave.
No, usually it's more about you and your life.
Dave.
Than sometimes.
Now, in one episode,
sometimes it's about the show.
I did ask you the question of what is my wife's name. I asked you that question,
and what did I say? Your wife, Leslie.
You got it right. Okay, but she's been having a lot of activity going on with her life recently. She's had a pop-up shop in New York, and she got awarded this huge opportunity to start a store, and she's been posting about it constantly online. I've been talking about it, been helping her out. What is the name of my wife's pop-up shop, Dave?
Oh man, I think it was something with an R. Can I buy a vowel?
Dave, there's two R's in it, Dave. There's two R's.
Yes, there's two
Okay,
R's.
Okay, that's fine. No, actually, the pop-up shop is called Art to Wear, Dave.
That's what I said.
To Wear. It is a pun on her last name, which is Ware, W-A-R-E, and right. Art to Wear. Okay, great. I think it's about time that we should get started with the show. Everybody, please check us out at Six Unseemly and all social media and unseemlyquestions.com. Let's get going. Six Unseemly Questions! Welcome to Six Unseemly Questions. I'm your host, Victor Varnado. This is my sidekick, Dave Rosinsky. We've got a great contestant on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ramon Rivas. Ramon Rivas, Come on out here. Just turn on your camera, and there you are. Thank you for coming to the show. It's going to be a good time. We've got in the studio audience, we have Natalie Cuomo and Rachel Teichman. Studio audience, thank you for being here. You're all wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, Ramon, how the show works, and then we're going to get started. I'm going to ask you 6 unseemly questions. At the end of each question, I will ring a bell if I like your answer, like this. However, if I do not like your answer, I will not ring a bell, and I'll tell you why. Now, regardless of how many bells you get at the end of the show, I'll decide whether or not your appearance on the show is worth giving you $5 whole.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. It's time for question number 1. Question number 1. Should we force people to be vaccinated?
I don't think you can force them, but you can be like, if like there's a book, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and there's an airline that they crashed a bunch, and they learned after studying it, they learned that it's because the deference built into the language. The subordinate was questioning the pilot as much as they could within the language. And so they made it mandatory to speak English if you worked like a pilot or in the flight navigation, but they didn't make it mandatory. They're just like, if you want a job, that's what you have to do to keep the job. We're not firing you, and so most people went and they went from worst to first. So I think it's that same concept where it's like, if you want, like, this is the like, you can't get mad, you can't go in a building because of this mask. Because I've been turned away for having like a hoodie, for having like tennis shoes, for like, I've been turned away from businesses for arbitrary reasons. So it's just like, what are you getting upset about?
So, no.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the answer to questions. No, I mean, you could have just said no, but there you go. There's your bell.
Oh, nice.
All right. So that was question number 1. You did get the bell. Congratulations. Getting the bell right out the box. It's time for question number 2. But before we do that, can you tell people out there what you do?
I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been on Comedy Central, HBO, Netflix, and I have a couple albums you can stream on whatever service delights you.
All right. Fantastic. All sounds great. I'm very proud to know you, and I'm also sure that your family's proud of you as well.
Yeah, man. As proud as they can be of someone who still lives with them.
And they get to listen to you on a delightful server.
It is It is time for question number 2. Question number 2, here it is. What was it like the first time you smoked weed?
Oh.
I didn't enjoy it. I smoked with like an older cousin I thought was cool because I caught them smoking and we bonded over it. But I
Did
didn't
they
like
offer it to you?
Yeah.
Or were you like, what is that?
It's a little mix of both. Because I think I caught them smoking cigarettes first, and then they invited me to smoke weed with them. I just remember it tasting like burnt popcorn, and that's not a good taste. So I just didn't smoke again for like a couple years. But then like my buddy in high school, who's like the mom who like was always out partying, we were just always over there like drinking and smoking weed. And so I got back into it pretty swiftly, but it didn't take the first time.
Got it. So it was a cool cousin who gave you your first weed.
Did you also give up burnt popcorn during that time?
I did.
That you gave up weed?
Yeah, I haven't had burnt popcorn since. I throw it away very callously if I ever up to make some.
Natalie,
I throw mine at Victor.
Natalie, who gave you your first weed?
My friends in high school.
Friends in high school. How about you, Rachel? Who gave you your first weed?
No.
Are you panicking? What's happening?
Yeah,
What's going on?
I'm not gonna.
Rachel doesn't want to give up her connections.
Yeah, not a good
show.
idea to say.
It's okay. You don't have
Rachel's
to.
like,
answer.
it just happened, so I don't want to say because they're coming back later.
You don't have to answer. Okay.
That was the response of like it was my boss or it was my parent.
I don't know.
No,
who
I'm
it
not
was.
gonna say on this.
All right, I'm going to say no bell on that question, Ramon. I'll tell you why. Is because you made Rachel panic. All right.
Oh damn!
Yeah, Rachel's like, oh. Hey,
My answer had nothing to do with Rachel.
Natalie, are you still friends with those people that gave you drugs?
No,
See, that's
way.
why they're not good friends.
It was shitty drugs, and we smoked out of a water bottle.
And now bongs? Is that what you mean?
What?
Bongs now?
Well, yeah, now bongs, I suppose. But have you made a water bottle bong before?
Oh,
Not
where you,
since
like,
I was
cut
at
the
Victor's
bottom
house
and, like-
last time. Yeah.
Oh, you mean like a jeeb?
Like a
Like-
gravity
Okay.
bong. Like a gravity bong.
Yeah.
All right.
gravity
You know
bong.
what? I'm going to interrupt the bong talk. I'm going to keep the show going. So
We can make
Why
this a
would you
wiki
do
how.
that to us?
Yeah, come on.
everything you need to know about bongs. All right. It's time for question number 3, Ramon. Question number 3. Do you get freaky?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Within like, I feel like I'm very vanilla within my freakiness, but like, constant need to be satiated, but very vanilla. So it depends how you define freaky.
Yeah. I mean, I guess everyone defines it a little bit differently. My freaky is probably not the same as your freaky or someone else's freaky. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody has very different freakies.
Mhm.
But by your own definition, you get freaky.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. All right, then. Me too,
All right.
everybody. Just
You
putting
take
it out there to the world. It gets
And-
freaky.
There you go.
Was it your cool cousin who taught you how?
No. No, it was not. I'm sorry.
Was it
I have
the
to draw the
internet?
line at incest jokes.
Gotcha.
Did you learn
I'm
online?
so sorry, everybody. What?
Did you learn online?
Did I learn online what? How to get freaky? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, to be honest, yeah.
I learned from late night BET music videos.
To Craigslist.
Yeah, where they would say things like, I want to get freaky with you. Things like that. All right.
Mhm.
You know what? That was a spirited conversation. So it is time for
That's how
question
you
number
get the
4.
bells.
Yeah, we're doing it. These bells are happening. Question number 4, Ramon. Have you ever come face to face with evil?
Ooh, scary.
I mean, I guess it depends how you define evil, because I have family members who've been criminals who are like reformed and released back into the world who I've like eaten with. And then also have cousins who have done things that they are now in jail for. So I don't know how to answer. Probably. I've also told comedy to a bunch of mostly white audiences, so I'm sure there was lots of evil people there. Man,
Nice.
yeah, probably. I'll go out and say on a limb because it's probably about 50-50, good to evil, or you think it's tipping one way or the other?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I understand what you're saying about 50-50, like either you're on one side of that line or another. But then for me, I would say that like there's like a good band of like maybe 30% in the middle where I wouldn't necessarily call someone evil or good because they're like within that gray area. But then like once you diverge more than that 30% sample median group, then that's when I would be like, okay, that person's good, that person's evil.
Are you talking about neutral people like in your Dungeons and Dragons games that you get dressed up for and play?
I don't know what your problem is with Dungeons and Dragons. It's fun.
I get it. No,
He's just jealous.
Really.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say no bell on that. I'll tell you why. It's because Dave rudely interrupted and he took a pot shot at Dungeons and Dragons.
So I really wanted to say evil wizard, but I thought you might get offended.
I'm already offended, Dave. I like Dungeons and Dragons, okay? Hear me roar.
I hear you, Katy Perry.
Do you have to roll a dice to roar?
No, you don't. You can just roar in Dungeons and Dragons.
Gotcha.
You could just scream out whatever you want in Dungeons and Dragons?
Pretty much, yeah.
That sounds
absolutely.
Like I'm an elf.
You will never invite it to a game ever. It is time for question number 5. Question number 5, Ramon. When's the last time you changed your mind about a big thing?
Around the election last year, like I had a cousin who got real conservative, even though he's Hispanic. It was very confusing. And so to that point, I had been like, all right, I'm done with everyone who's in this camp. Like, you don't make no sense. And it's like a family member who like I'm not real close to, but it's also like I don't really expect you to exist beyond like being able to like eat with you at like a family function. So I just unconnected from him on Facebook, right? And then he came to a show I did recently and was like, I haven't seen anything about your shows recently. I'm like, I post online. Oh, I forgot that I unfriended you because you're dumb. I didn't tell him to his face because I forgot until right now. So like that was a thing. I forgot the hard line I drew because I'm like, is it that big of a deal that you're a dumb? Or like I don't think he understands the weight of his actions from where he was or his position. Right. So it's hard to like you say that gray area is like, oh, there's a lot more people in this space than I want to be. And there's still a big gap for me to where they are in that gray space.
Well, how do you find out about your show if you unfriended him? That's an even grayer space. I think
that's
just the scary part.
I think the streets, man.
The streets.
I just do shit and people come.
But more importantly, how does that answer demonstrate that you change your mind about something?
Because the mind was like, I'm done with people who are this thing. And it's like when I saw him in person, it wasn't like I'm about to fight you on sight. Like it wasn't. I just needed you to not occupy my mind around that time.
All right, I think that we have very different definitions of what changing your mind is. So no bell on that question. I'm just calling it like I see it, man.
Hey, man, that's fine.
It is now time for question number 6. Question number 6. Give us behind the scenes dish on cooking on high.
They said it was just for like maybe the internet, and then so it was like non-union and like pretty like I was in Cleveland about to do a gig and throw out a first pitch at a baseball game, and I had to like buy a last minute ticket and go do it for like loss of a lot of money, but just because I'm like, well, I have to get paid to eat weed, like that feels very like on my soul brand. So I'm a big fan of sandwiches. I used to have a poster of me smoking a joint riding on a sandwich. And so the first episode I judged was like they put a weed sandwich in front of me. So I was like, all right, this is cool. And then it was on the internet for like a month and then just disappeared. And then it just popped up on Netflix like a year and a half later. And I was like, oh, is this, do I get anything more? And they're like, no. And I was like, okay, cool. And then like the host didn't even really smoke weed all like that. He was just like a YouTube dude that was good at hosting. But he wasn't real. But
dudes.
Yeah, but Unga was real cool. The cannabis shaman who worked on the show. Yeah, so it was cool, but it was one of those like it definitely wasn't. They wasn't like this is for Netflix, and you're gonna get Netflix like gift bags. Even it was just like here, we got your Uber from the airport though. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, Netflix is just buying up everything right now.
Yeah.
Which is good for us content makers, I guess. You
yeah,
know?
Man, they buying any Victor Varnado joints?
We'll see. We'll see. You never know. We shall see. It is, you know what? I'm going to give you a bell on that question because I was good inside dish. I liked it. I think we can all agree that was good inside dish. Does anybody disagree with that?
Inside dish.
Seems like we getting nods and Dave repeating the words inside dish over and over. And so I think it says it's a good inside dish. All right. So you've answered 6 questions. Thank you, Ramon. But now it is time to decide whether or not you get $5 whole for your appearance on the show. But before we do that, can you tell people out there where they can find you?
You can go to my website, blazerramon.com, BLAZERRAMON.com. That's also my Instagram and Twitter and Venmo if you bought that life. But that has all like my tour, random tour dates and Zoom shows I do, I put on there. And then like my albums and shit like that are available as well.
Awesome. Fantastic. That's great. Okay. And then I hope people out there go check him out and please let him know that you saw him on 6 Unseemly Questions, the show. All right. It is time to decide whether or not you get $5. We always canvass the room. So why don't we do that right now? Dave, what do you think? Should Ramon get $5 for his appearance on the show?
Absolutely. I think he got robbed on a couple of bells there.
Robbed?
It was just so blatant, Victor.
Oh, we're all right. Okay, fine.
And, I learned a lot about his family.
Okay. Thanks, Dave. Natalie, what do you think? Should Ramon get $5 for his appearance on the show?
Absolutely.
Any reasoning behind that, or just you love the word absolutely?
His answers were great. I feel like I got a nice picture of who he is as much as you can.
This sounds like you're making it up. This sounds like you're making this up.
I'm not making it up. I was fully present, although I was dissociating. I was present during this episode, and I thought it
relatable.
I thought it was fantastic, and I can't wait to watch you eating food that has weed in it. So I think because of that, you deserve $5. I think you deserve more than $5 if I'm being quite frank, but that wasn't the question.
Boom. Damn.
I agree with you. That was not the question. All right. Rachel, what do you think? Should Ramon get $5 for his appearance on the show?
I'm tempted to say no because his response prompted you to ask me a question that made me start to panic. I did not like that. But I am going to say yes, he should get it. I like his vibes. Chill.
All right. Well, it's time for the last opinion to be heard, and that is yours, Ramon. What do you think? Should you get $5 for your appearance on the show? Is
someone else going to get the $5 if I don't get it, or do you just throw it away?
Everybody could get $5, or nobody could get $5. Yours doesn't affect anybody else's.
So if I say I don't want it, no one else gets $5.
No, just you.
This episode is all about you. So you're the only person who can get $5 and the only person who cannot get $5 because you're the only person who has the ability to get $5 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to. Can I get Rachel give her $5 to get a coffee to like make up for the question making her feel awkward?
No, you got to win it.
Well,
first.
there you go. You lose. You do not get $5. I'll tell you why. It's because it's a long-standing rule on the show that you cannot take the money and give it to other people. You can't do that.
Especially Rachel.
It's for you.
Rachel.
If you had ever listened to one episode, you probably wouldn't have heard that. But if you listened to like 40, you would have known.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, well, I apologize for being selfless. That's fine.
I appreciate you though.
No
it's
problem.
all right.
I have the same amount of money I had coming into this, like a prenup.
I just have to
I got
wrap
the
up
same
the show.
coffee.
Let's wrap up the show now. Dave, what did you learn from this week's show?
I learned the more I talk about Dungeons and Dragons, it's like the more defensive you get about it. What's going on with this? I can't talk about Dark Wizards.
Everyone, check us out at 6 Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com.
Starburns Audio, a podcast network.